A significant shift has emerged in the ongoing tension surrounding Mkhwanazi and IDAC. What had previously existed as a controlled and largely understated conflict has now transitioned into a more visible and deliberate confrontation. The latest statement delivered by Mkhwanazi signals not only escalation, but the possibility of a carefully structured response already in motion. At the center of this development is a single, striking declaration: "We won't be sleeping tonight." This statement carries a weight that extends beyond its simplicity. It suggests urgency, preparation, and a level of confidence that implies more than speculation. Rather than reflecting uncertainty, it indicates that actions may already be underway, with consequences expected to unfold in the immediate term. The broader context surrounding this moment reveals a pattern of increasing tension. Over time, subtle indicators pointed to underlying disagreements between Mkhwanazi and IDAC. These indicators, while not always overt, formed a foundation that made the current escalation less surprising to close observers. However, the present situation differs in tone and intensity. It marks a departure from indirect signaling and enters the realm of explicit positioning. Mkhwanazi's delivery further reinforces this interpretation. The absence of visible hesitation or emotional volatility suggests a composed and deliberate approach. This composure is often associated with strategic intent rather than spontaneous reaction. In such circumstances, the emphasis shifts from what is being said to what is being prepared. Central to the statement is the notion of a revenge strategy, a phrase that implies calculated action rather than impulsive retaliation. Although specific details remain undisclosed, the language used points toward a multi-layered approach. References to accountability, exposure, and the unveiling of concealed information indicate that the strategy may involve both informational and structural elements. The distinction between planned and ongoing action is particularly significant. By suggesting that processes are already in motion, the statement eliminates the perception of delay. It introduces immediacy, reinforcing the idea that the situation is no longer in a preparatory phase but has entered active execution. This has the effect of increasing pressure on all involved parties, particularly IDAC. From a strategic perspective, the psychological dimension of the statement cannot be overlooked. Inducing uncertainty can be as impactful as direct action. The absence of specific details creates a space in which multiple possibilities must be considered simultaneously. This environment complicates response strategies, as it limits the ability to anticipate or counter specific moves. Timing also plays a critical role in shaping the impact of the message. The decision to make such a declaration at this particular moment suggests careful consideration of external conditions. Factors such as public attention, internal dynamics, and the readiness of supporting elements may all contribute to the effectiveness of the timing. In strategic contexts, timing is often as influential as the action itself. IDAC now faces a complex set of choices. A rapid response may project confidence but carries the risk of miscalculation if based on incomplete information. A delayed response, on the other hand, may allow the narrative to develop without direct influence, potentially altering perception in unfavorable ways. Maintaining silence while preparing internally represents another approach, though it requires absorbing the immediate pressure generated by uncertainty. Each of these options presents inherent risks. The current situation is characterized by a high degree of sensitivity, where both action and inaction can produce significant consequences. The absence of clarity intensifies this dynamic, making strategic decision-making more challenging. Beyond the immediate interaction between the two parties, the situation holds broader implications. Developments of this nature often extend beyond individual entities, influencing wider perceptions of stability, transparency, and control. The suggestion that undisclosed information may be revealed introduces an additional layer of complexity, as it has the potential to reshape existing narratives. Public perception plays a critical role in this context. Statements that allude to hidden truths or forthcoming revelations tend to generate heightened scrutiny. Observers may begin to reassess prior events, drawing new connections or questioning previously accepted assumptions. This process can alter the informational landscape, sometimes independently of the actual outcomes. The structured nature of Mkhwanazi's message suggests an awareness of these broader effects. The statement appears designed not only to signal intent but also to initiate a shift in attention and interpretation. By doing so, it expands the scope of the situation beyond a direct exchange and into a wider arena of influence. Another notable element is the tone of confidence embedded within the message. This confidence does not rely on overt assertiveness but is instead conveyed through restraint and clarity. Such an approach often indicates a belief in the strength of underlying factors, whether informational, procedural, or strategic in nature. The potential consequences of this development remain uncertain, but the trajectory indicates continued escalation. Possible outcomes may include the release of information, coordinated actions across multiple channels, or responses that further intensify the situation. Each scenario carries distinct implications, both for the immediate parties involved and for the broader environment in which they operate. As events continue to unfold, the emphasis shifts toward observation and analysis. The initial statement has established a framework within which subsequent developments will be interpreted. Any new information, response, or action will be viewed in relation to the expectations created by this moment. The declaration that "we won't be sleeping tonight" serves as both a signal and a catalyst. It marks the transition from anticipation to activation, suggesting that the situation has entered a phase where developments are imminent rather than hypothetical. In conclusion, the current moment represents a turning point. The combination of strategic language, deliberate timing, and implied action creates a scenario defined by heightened tension and uncertainty. While the full scope of the situation has yet to be revealed, the indicators point toward a continuation of escalation. The unfolding events are likely to shape not only the immediate outcome of this conflict but also the broader understanding of the dynamics at play. As such, the situation warrants close attention, as its implications may extend beyond the present moment and influence future developments in significant ways. The progression from silence to declaration has already altered the landscape. What follows will determine the extent of that transformation.